Hey, before we even start, pause whatever else you're doing because I need you to hear this. Discipline is not punishment. It's not a grind set aesthetic. It's not about looking busy or checking boxes. Discipline is power. It's the quiet, invisible force that builds your life brick by brick, even when nobody's watching. You say you want freedom? Then understand this. Discipline is freedom. Freedom to choose your direction, your habits, your mindset, while everyone else is a slave to impulse and distraction. We live in a world that worships comfort. We crave quick results, instant gratification, and shortcuts that don't exist. You scroll for motivation, but discipline doesn't live there. Discipline lives in repetition, not inspiration. Let me tell you something real. The people you admire, the ones you think are built different, they're not. They just learned how to do the boring stuff consistently. That's it. They learned how to show up even when they didn't feel like it. Because they realized something powerful. You don't have to be motivated to act. You just have to act to become motivated. I used to think I needed to feel ready before doing anything. I'd wait for the perfect time. But that time never came. One day, I got tired of my own excuses. I told myself, all right, let's just do it for 5 minutes. 5 minutes turned into 20. 20 turned into an hour. And eventually, I stopped needing motivation to move. I just moved. That's the secret nobody tells you. Discipline isn't about huge leaps. It's about small, consistent steps that compound over time. Here's something fascinating. Your brain literally rewires itself through repetition. When you force yourself to show up daily, even when you don't want to, you're training your brain to obey your decisions instead of your emotions. Think about that. Every time you push past resistance, you're not just building habits, you're building identity. You stop saying, I'm trying to be disciplined, and start saying, I am disciplined. Let me give you a real example. I knew a guy who wanted to get in shape, but he couldn't stick to the gym for more than a week. So I told him, don't focus on working out, focus on showing up. He thought I was joking, but I wasn't. For the first month, I didn't care if he lifted a single weight. He just had to walk into the gym every day. 30 days later, he didn't just go to the gym. He wanted to go. Because discipline isn't about the task. It's about becoming the kind of person who keeps promises to themselves. All right, grab your pen and paper. I want you to write this down because this is where transformation starts. The 3 rules of discipline. Rule 1, start small but start for real. See, most people want to start big. They want to change their entire life overnight. They'll say, I'm gonna wake up at 4 a.m., run 5 miles, meditate for 30 minutes, and read a book. And then by day 3, they crash. That's because discipline doesn't start with doing everything. It starts with doing something. When I first tried to rebuild my habits, I told myself, don't do an hour, just do 5 minutes. 5 minutes of reading, 5 minutes of journaling, 5 minutes of movement. Because 5 minutes is small enough to start, but powerful enough to shift your identity. You're not building a habit, you're building evidence. Evidence that you can show up for yourself. And once your brain sees that proof, it starts to believe. Maybe I can do more. That's when 5 minutes turns into 15, and 15 turns into a lifestyle. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Start small, start now, and let momentum do the heavy lifting. Rule 2. Do it daily. Repetition beats intensity. Consistency will build you faster than intensity ever will. Most people think discipline means going all out, but it's not about how hard you can go once. It's about how long you can keep going without stopping. I'll tell you something that hit me hard. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your consistency. When I started making changes in my life, I used to do the all-or-nothing routine. If I couldn't do a full workout, I'd skip the day. If I couldn't write a perfect script, I wouldn't write at all. That mindset kills progress. But the moment I told myself, show up no matter what, even if it's only for 5 minutes, everything changed. Because repetition is what trains your brain. Each time you repeat an action, your mind says, this is who we are now. That's how athletes build muscle memory. That's how successful people build habits. So instead of going hard, go long. Instead of going fast, go forever. The goal isn't to impress yourself, it's to reprogram yourself. And the only way to do that is daily repetition. Rule 3, forgive fast. Discipline without compassion destroys you. Now listen closely, because this is the rule that breaks most people. They start strong, they slip up once, and then they throw it all away. They miss one workout, eat one bad meal, skip one morning, and suddenly they think they're back to 0. But here's the truth. You don't lose discipline by failing. You lose it by giving up after you fail. The people who keep winning. They mess up too, they just don't stay down. There was a time I'd guilt-trip myself over every mistake. I'd spiral, beat myself up, say I ruined everything. Until one day I realized that voice in my head wasn't discipline, it was shame. And shame doesn't build you, it breaks you. Real discipline is built on forgiveness. Because when you forgive yourself, you free your energy to keep moving forward. Missed a day? Fine, start again tomorrow. Failed your goal? Learn and adjust. The faster you forgive, the faster you recover. And that's what separates the disciplined from the defeated, not perfection, but resilience. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. That's why you need to understand, discipline feels like suffering before it feels like strength. You'll feel resistance, boredom, even doubt. That's not failure, that's proof you're growing. You see, anyone can grind for a week. But can you keep going when no one's clapping? When the results are invisible? That's when you find out who you really are. Discipline isn't just for gym rats or entrepreneurs. It's for relationships, mental health, finances, everything. If you can stay disciplined in one area, that energy bleeds into every part of your life. You start waking up earlier, eating better, thinking clearer, loving deeper. Because when your habits align with your goals, your life aligns too. And that's when you realize discipline isn't a cage. It's the key that unlocks your freedom. Here's the truth. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to be bored on their way there. Success isn't glamorous, it's repetition. It's showing up on the days you'd rather disappear. It's saying no to the easy path and yes to the one that builds you. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize every boring, quiet, lonely day was worth it. So if you've been waiting for a sign to change your life, this is it. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. Decide today you'll show up, you'll do the work. You'll build the life you promised yourself, because in a world full of distractions, the disciplined are unstoppable. Discipline is power, and if you can master that, you can master anything. Save this video, rewatch it when you're tired. Your future self will thank you.